Well, are you better off in an RV or car? If you were going to live as a nomad and live on the road and you're entertaining the idea of an RV versus a car, and when I say car, I'm including an SUV, a minivan, any basic vehicle that you can get at a regular car lot. Obviously, when I say RV, which stands for recreational vehicle, I'm talking about anything from a motorhome, whether it's a big motorhome or small, to a travel trailer. Well, there's pros and cons like everything in life. And my first thought that I always share with you, that I reinforce, is if you're unsure about the nomad lifestyle, which is a unique lifestyle to do it as a full-time way of living. I always say keep it very simple and very cheap in the beginning, because you can always add, but once you start to spend too much money in this lifestyle, you can regret, okay? Because we're talking about big money purchases when it comes to RVs. And even if you can get a cheap one, we're talking about logistics and where you're going to park it. We're talking about maintenance, and we're talking about fuel efficiency. There's no doubt about it that living in a vehicle, a regular car, a minivan, SUV, whatever, that is the most flexible, freeing, and cheap option. And you should start with the car you have, whether it's a Kia Soul or a Toyota minivan. Start with the car you have, as long as it's reliable. Reliability is your only concern as a starting point in the evaluation of your selection for a vehicle. You gotta have something reliable, because if it's not reliable, it's like, why even have it, right? The next step is you gotta look at fuel efficiency. Okay, so if you're driving a Toyota Prius, you're getting 50 miles per gallon. If you're driving a Class C, you're getting 8 miles per gallon. So that's a huge difference. I mean, that's like 400% difference. So I say to the younger person, I like the vehicle option better, the Prius or the Jeep or the Kia Soul or even the minivan. I mean, 20 miles per gallon and up, you can still DoorDash, you can still Instacart, and you can still travel the United States or any other area at a very reasonable fuel cost. When you get to the Class B minivans, or the Class B RVs, or the Class Cs or the Class A's, or pulling a travel trailer, your fuel efficiency starts to go downhill. Now, with the travel trailer, if you get a small light one, what I like about that is you can drop it off at a campsite, and then you're back to the fuel efficiency of a regular vehicle. However, if you take into account how much you're paying for the campsite, you basically are eliminating the cost saving of the fuel efficiency. So everything has a give and take. When it comes to maintenance with a regular car, you're going to a regular dealership. And I can tell you, traveling up and down the East Coast of America, living out of my Jeep, there's been a Jeep dealership in just about every town I've been in. Have I gotten repairs on the road? Yep, I've got my spark plugs changed. I've got my brakes changed, my tires changed, up and down the East Coast of America. Okay. I've had diagnostic troubleshooting, exhaust fan replaced. With a Class C, or with a repair on a travel trailer, you're going to have to go to an RV dealership for the most part. Now, they have some mobile repair mechanics, but the logistics and coordinating that and waiting for that, the availability of repairing an RV and the quick response is definitely a negative compared to the availability and the quick response of getting a regular car repaired. So, something you have to consider. In my opinion, really the only value of the RV, whether, again, if it's a travel trailer or motorhome, the only value is the fact that you have a home on wheels, okay? And if you get hurt or if you get sick, as long as you have a self-contained RV, meaning you have a kitchen, bathroom, and sleeping quarters, as long as your RV is self-contained, you can basically bunker down at a campground or RV park in your home. Now, if you're living in a car and you get sick or hurt or you have a major issue, you're going to go to a hotel or short-term Airbnb. So, either way, your freedom is tied into keeping it simple, keeping an income, keeping a savings account. I want to say that again. Your freedom is tied to keeping it simple, keeping an income, and keeping a savings account. If you do that, look, it's whatever your personal preference. But if you're just starting, keep it very simple, very cheap, very easy to get in and out of. If you do this lifestyle for a while and you want to add some comfort and some convenience and you're willing to sacrifice some flexibility and some cost efficiency, then move up. Okay. But think it out, because you can get $100,000 motorhome, but then you got to park in a campground that, there's some people got cheap ass travel trailer right next to you, 10 feet away from you. So you just bought a $100,000 RV, but you're still in the same campground that people who bought a $5,000 beat up truck or camper are living out of. So, think about that. It's something to think about. The bottom line is the best part about the nomadic life, no matter what vehicle you select, is that your house is on wheels. And in my opinion, the best human invention of our time is the invention of the wheel. There's nothing that has advanced human civilization like the invention of the wheel. Now, you can say electricity and other major inventions, but for the most part, even electricity, sometimes it needs a wheel to be created. It's like, there's different components to generators and to power plants that are based on a wheel turning, generating that power. So, bottom line is, guys, you're on wheels, and that's the benefit. Never forget that benefit. Never get caught in the mud. Sometimes you may want to stay in one area. Sometimes you may get cornered in with a coronavirus or a major society issue. But when the storm passes, start your car. And if you can avoid the storm, start your vehicle and leave. Use your flexibility. And only sacrifice some of your flexibility if it's a value added and you have counted all the extra cost. I never get tired of telling you these basic nomadic principles. There's a scripture that says, I never get tired of telling you these basic, moral lessons, because it's at the basics that we either start on the right path or we go astray. So always go back to the basics in everything in life, including the nomadic life, and don't rush. Keep it simple. Be flexible. And I think if you do that, and you get in this lifestyle and you want to change something, you'll do so in wisdom, not in emotion. Or if you get in this lifestyle and you want to get out of it, you won't be so overly invested that you will hurt yourself financially or emotionally. The measured, calculated risk is necessary, but the measured, calculated risk is usually there's better odds of success than the wild, emotional, unthought of plan. So, I hope these videos help you guys. If they do, click the thumbs up. Thank you to all my members. If you'd like to be a member of the channel, click the blue join button. I'll see you on the live chats. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep pushing forward on your best life, whether it's living in a car, RV, or a mansion. Why? It's your life, and if you don't start to decide your life, someone else will do it for you. Never forget it.